Hey everybody, this is Grace. In this video I'm going to be introducing a new character. Now these are just copyrighted to me stories and part of a big series, and they are rough drafts. Some of them are actual stories or highlights, and it helps me to get them organized. Think of, that's why you really don't see any pictures or anything, and they're just something to help me organize the stories, and some of the things will change when I see that it doesn't work right or there's a better place to put the storyline, so don't expect perfection. Anyway, in this one I'm going to introduce a character, Tom, T-O-M. He's a 40-year-old man when this starts, and most of these start in the beginning of 2020, unless I state otherwise. Or, as time goes by, I won't have to change it. Did you see that butterfly? Yeah. And, but Tom, now, a little background is needed. Tom grew up in a town that is called Hippie Town, okay? And yes, it was, it's in Victorson County, Texas. Now, Victorson County, and the stories here are hypothetical, fictional. The towns and all that are fictional. Of course, Texas is not. It's in Texas, Victorson County. Texas, Victorson County is fictional. And these I'm using as examples, but also stories. And now he grew up in a place called Hippie Town. Now, Hippie Town was developed by some wealthy students who were university students. Their parents were wealthy, and they were, during their hippie movement, they wanted to have their own commune and things like that. So their parents bought a bunch of land that was in a town that wasn't, not really even considered a town at the time, but not very developed. And they bought a bunch of land. They were very wealthy, and they moved in. They started a commune, and from there it went on. But a lot of polygamists and people who practice polyamory live there now. Not everybody, of course, not everybody. And the polygamists, they basically keep quiet about it. So now Tom grew up there, but he has a store, a grocery store. He's, like I said, 40 years old. He owns a grocery store that is, on either side is a cafe. One's a cafe, one's a restaurant, and the two women are friends that own each one. And one is Margo, and the other one is Dana. And Dana owns the cafe, and Margo owns the restaurant. And like I said, his is in the middle, and it's nearby the county hospital. So, okay. And his big, it's a huge grocery store, and it's really more of like a department store, grocery store, department store. It's a superstore kind of thing. And the restaurants, the cafe and the restaurant, they're located in, like I said, by the county hospital, and it's in Summertime, Texas. Summertime is Texas, is not real Texas, it is, of course. Anyway, his store, his mainly items for people or visitors of the county hospital. And for some of them, of course, it's, just things they need for, like, right then. But for others, some of them it includes things like clothing and, things that they're going to be staying in the hotel they may need. If it's long term, they don't know, And some of it's for the actual employees, all kinds of employees of the county hospital, so they don't have to go too far if they need something. You see, and it's a big store. Okay, now, as I said, Tom grew up in Hippie Town, but so did Dana, but not Margo. Yeah, did I say Meg? I meant Margo. Now, Margo didn't, okay. But, Dana, she runs a cafe, and she can understand a bit more of what Tom's going through, and, what Tom grew up in, because so does she. And, now, Dana and Margo are friends, like I said, and, Margo, of course, just can't. But she doesn't really know much, because they they both, I mean, not Dana, but she knows about Dana growing up there, but she doesn't know about Tom. And now his family, they were polygamist, his parents, and they didn't tell people, okay? A lot of people had heard about that part of Texas and that hippie town, and they moved there, undercover kind of thing, you know, not letting anybody know they're polygamist, and like his family did. And so they moved there so they can be freer. And, you know, there are people, like I said, that, you know, basically from the hippies, they are polyamorous and so forth. So it's like they have a place where they can feel free. And they feel free. That doesn't mean it's not legal, but okay. So it doesn't mean it's, you get what I'm saying. And but many there, like I said, they practice that either or, but not everybody. Now Tom, he thinks of himself as an empath, who, well, you know, he feels for other people, but for him, he could practice either. He is open to practice either or remain anonymous. I mean, not anonymous, monogamous, but his brain thinks more of practicing one or the other, and he, at some point, he realized that both Margo and Dana were interested in him. That's how he saw it. They are interested in him. And to him, it's a thought of, they're already friends, and they've been since school. They, you know, had to go to the same school. There weren't that many schools back then, so they attended the same high school, at least. And, you know, but he knew that Dana would understand, but he didn't know, in a way he doubted if they, you know, understood by the things he said that he is one to practice either polygamy or polyamorous relationships. He'd give out little hints, but he didn't know if they both understood that. So, you know, that's, so at the point when this is, I already have a video about Margo, but this is where I'm going to leave this one off. So to him, he's wondering, you know, are they okay with that? And that to him it would be great, since they're already friends, and he's not really thinking much beyond that. Okay, because he grew up in that, and that it, you know, he grew up thinking that there is no problem with that, either one. So anyway, that's enough about him for now. Like I said, these are copyrighted to me. They're just short stories. Don't expect perfection. I might change things later on. Talk to you on another video. Bye.